What's going on today, Internet? Selfish here with Retrospect. I was taking a little break here from doing my newly mod video for you guys to kind of do an instructional video. When I saw in my comments, somebody asked me to do a button swap on the RG Cube. And lucky for you, I've got an RG Cube, and I've got some Sakura mod buttons. Let's take a look. My memory card in this is actually in the reader right now, because as soon as I busted it out, I was like, oh, I got to put something on here. So that is not in the device itself. But we will go through here real quick, and I will show you how to easily do buttons, I think. I've actually never done buttons on the RG Cube. I've actually never opened the RG Cube before, but I have the tools for it and the time, so let's find out. Weekends are my favorite time for modding, so if you ever want to catch me to do a mod video, now's the time. I was actually going to do my 505 video today, but I can't seem to find the damn buttons I ordered for it like 2 or 3 months ago. So we're going to have to wait on that one until I can figure out what I did with them. I'm going into this assuming that this is like every other Anbernic handheld, so I guess we'll see how this goes, but I'm assuming it will be just fine. Oh boy, is it really just barely too short? We can make this work. We just got to kind of rig it a little bit. A little bit in there? Yeah, there we go. Did I get it? Yep, sure did. I hate how deep some of these are because I have deeper screw bits, but I never think to grab them, and I never want to do it when I'm working on something. Once I get going, I just kind of want to be going. There we go. And this is, what, an H15? These are the Anbernic Special. I think pretty much most retro handhelds use these, or a 00 or 000, depending on which component you're using. There isn't a lot of other stuff that's used. These are kind of nice just because they're a nicer quality screw, and you would expect these to be in a higher quality device like the Cube, and they are. So it's nice that they didn't cheap out on their screws. I don't know that it really makes a difference, but, you know, we'll say it does. How well is this held together? Can I just do it? I don't really have fingernails, but, oh yeah, look at that. You don't even need a smudge tool for that. Is it connected at all? Fuck no. Sweet. So we actually only need to pull off the sister board, it looks like, on this side over here, in order to do these buttons, so it shouldn't be too difficult. Oh, there goes my speaker. And these, what, just sit right there? Okay, that shouldn't be too hard. Let's grab a couple things here, like these tweezers I have sitting over here. I am going to try to use the lower cam on this one a little bit too. Somebody said that I'm always too far away when I do these. I don't know how much footage we'll be able to use from it, because a lot of it probably gets covered by my arms, but, you know, we'll give it a shot. And this would have been easier just to pull it with my fingers, it looks like. But you know what? I don't care. We're just going to do it. Okay, so there's our speaker. Okay, so now is when we need the Phillips head. I'm going to guess it's this one. Yep, and see, now this one's long, of course. And what are we using here? We're using a double PHO. So, there we go. Phillips head 0. So it wasn't a 00 or anything like I thought it was going to be. Well, you know what I'm saying. Keep track of your screws. You want to make sure you put them all in the right spot. I'm going to guess that we're going to have a couple different size screws here. Maybe not. Anbernic's usually pretty good about not doing that. Oh, we probably should unhook this first. This is the motherboard. On these, you just, I don't know. I haven't used this one yet, but which side comes up? Not that side. Well, there has to be a side. Not going to be that side. It's got to be this side. There you go. It's right in the middle. If you get it right in the middle, she'll come right off. Now, if you want to, you can actually just pull the whole thing off and just get out of the way, which is what I'm going to do, just so I don't have to monkey around with it. And let's pull the whole thing out here, and we'll put it right over there. Looks like our board might still be kind of stuck by whatever's coming up from underneath this battery, which is glued down. Interesting. Okay. Not a big deal. So we're going to take these two out, and we're also going to need to take out our shoulder button. Typically in Anbernics, these are going to be a 3-screw configuration. Actually, most handhelds they are. Some are 2, oddly enough, but most are 3. And they're almost always in the same spot. Because there is magnets and everything in here, they try to kind of keep them in a... Did I just drop that screw? Did I really just drop one? No, it's right there. No, it's not. Oh no, there it is. Yep, see there's magnets, so they try to keep them away from the magnets. Most manufacturers do anyways. So, let's, as I said, to keep them separated, and I mixed them all together. Let's get this bad boy out of here. There we go. I've actually gone to put them back together and not been able to find a screw before, and that was because it was stuck to that. So this will be the same on either side, so just take off the sister board if you want to do a D-pad, or if you want to change out your sticks to newer Hall Effect sticks. I've been debating doing that in here. I know with Gamma OS coming, it should fix the issues we've been seeing with these Hall Effect sticks. Yeah, these are all the same, these 3, which are the ones that were on the board, so that makes it easy. Oh, we do have our joystick still hooked up here. So with these, just going to top her back from the back side on this one, not the front, which is why I was checking the front on the other one. And there we go. And then we should be able to just kind of move it. Now see, it is still connected, and that is because of this, whatever that is right there. And this is why I took that full side cable off, as to not crease it. But we got pretty good access to our buttons. And again, this would be the same on the other side. If you were going to do the D-pad stuff, you'd have that same kind of access. Here's our membrane, in case you're wondering why there's no membrane on here. There is. This one here, actually, it looks like has a way to hold it into the board itself. Oh yeah, look at that. So that's what these are for. Those actually hold the membrane into the board itself. I've never actually seen that before, and I've done a lot of these, so that's pretty cool. This is our button layout, which decided to fall off, which is fine. But we just need to remember when we put it back together to put it back on. It looks like you can't really hold it on there when it's not together anyways, because it's held on by these. So that's all right, we'll just get that out of the way. And then we will swap these out. Pretty easy. This is definitely, you know, if you got some time kind of project, it doesn't take a whole lot of it. So, let's see what we got here. So now we got our new secure mod buttons. I actually got the white specifically because of these buttons, because I really wanted the Skittle buttons. And then the secure mod buttons came along, and I'm like, oh, those are even cooler than the Skittle buttons. And they'll look good on white, so we're good. But this was not the intention when I had asked about this to begin with. So these are direction specific, which is kind of interesting when you're using shapes. Mostly because I'm in the wrong spot completely. Alright, I don't know why I just did that. Alright, so your triangle goes on top. Come on, Selfish, you can do it. Alright. So triangle, how is that gonna, which way does it need to go to fit in there? Oh, perfect, I got it on the first try. Nice. Alright, so then we need, oh man, it's okay, not a big deal. Okay, then we need, oh, this one I'm not real worried about being directional because these are centered. So that one will be fine. And we need a square, which I don't know if, yeah, you can make a diamond out of it. Look at that, and I did. Huh. Who would have thought that was going to be the possibility, or what was going to happen there. Alright, so we need to rotate that. Come on, gotta get over, ah, man, it's still a diamond. Okay. We need to get that over the hump. Once we get her over the hump here, we should be okay. Now we're a square, and then we have our X, which I guess could be jacked up, if maybe, possibly. Alright, and then we got, so that's it. And then we already have our membrane on here, which is built right onto the board here, which is new to me. Again, it's interesting. I like the idea, kind of, because it does really kind of help everything fit together, and you don't have to worry about lining it up, which is neat. And then what we're going to do is we're going to take these here, if I don't drop them, which I'm going to, I'm sure. And then, yeah, those will line them right up back in there with their buttons. Their respective buttons are right behind them. We're good to go there. We're going to get the rest of this put back together. I'm going to put a couple, let's see, these are the flat ones. Put these guys. And these are going to be the flatter of the head ones, in case you're wondering. Righty tighty. I'll grab my screwdriver to finish screwing these in. Even though my torque wrench does actually stop. Let's see if it'll stop. Oh, it'll stop. Never mind, we're good. I get a little nervous sometimes that it doesn't stop in the right spot, but we're okay today. Mostly I worry about it with joysticks because they have a really thin piece of plastic that holds them together for some reason. Okay, now we're going to need to put this back on here. And this bumper, the reason why it fell off is actually the trigger assembly actually holds the top of this. So it's pretty loosey-goosey in there until you put that trigger assembly back on there. And that's what this hole right here is for. That goes right there into the trigger assembly. And now everything's good to go there. So we will put these back on real quick. If you're new to this, I wouldn't recommend using an electric screwdriver. You kind of have to get a feel for when things are going to be too tight, too. Like, you get a feel for when things are tightening, and you kind of have to mess it up a couple of times before you do it. So I'd recommend practicing on, like, a sister board or something before you do that. There was one screw left, because, again, my ADHD just gets the best of me sometimes, and here we are. Alright. And that's that. So now all we have left for screws is those four main screws, but we did, if you did see, I did pull that cable just to make sure it didn't get stuck underneath there. These sometimes are a pain in the butt just because they are folded about right. I like to use the tweezers just to get them flat, and then I'll usually just push them back in with my finger. Usually. I haven't done this one before, so we will see if that's the case, but that's usually how I try to do it. My mic's a little high right now, so you might get some pitching or some on and off, and I'm going to apologize, but this was not how I was set up to record, so this is just a little break, a little day break to put some buttons in. There we go, and I always just like to double check it. Don't pull hard, because you will be able to pull it out no matter what, but just give it a little yep, we're good. So that's working. We'll put these bad boys back in here, just to get them out of the way. We will, we'll do this one next. So this should be fairly easy, but remember, pick up that brown piece right there, and we'll put that in there. Maybe. These are the kind of things that always kind of slow me down, are these, all these kind of cables. And like I said, you could leave it in there, but you don't really want to bend it. I always say you're never going to break these things, but if you're going to bend it at a 90-degree angle, odds are pretty good you're going to break it. Unless you're very, very careful. So it's not a corner worth cutting in my book. Not on this one. Alright, so now you know it's straight because it actually kind of falls right in, and you also know when you close this thing because the line matches the end of that. So the line is actually lined up with the end of the brown part when it's fully in there, which is typically how these work if they have a line on them. Kind of just want everything to line up. I had it incorrectly and I just didn't like how it looked, but it was right. So we'll do it again. There we go. And we'll kind of push it. See, I don't like there's a bubble here, but that might go away once we lock her in. No, there's just a bubble there. Weird. Oh yeah, I guess there's one on the other side. I guess I should have looked at the other side first. Alright, and the last thing we got to do here is we just got to put our speaker back in. I guess I did do it from this side before, but I don't know how I did it, honestly. But this just plugs in right here. You can use the tweezers if you want, or you can use your fingers. Boom. I usually use the tweezers to make sure it's tight. See, it's lined up with my fingers, and then I'll just use the tweezers to kind of work it in the rest of the way. Just to make sure everything is in there the way it is supposed to be. Because it was pretty tight when we pulled it out of there. So I want to make sure that it stays that tight. Interesting little speaker covers I got here. Cool. Alright, and that sits right there. And all we have left to do is put our back on. Make sure, just go around it, make sure all the clips go in. If there's any kind of resistance, you did something wrong. So if you're feeling resistance, go back and do it again. And we'll do a little cross pattern here for screwing this back on. Don't want to over tighten it again. Remember, everything here is plastic, so be careful. And let's see if we can get these with my little ghetto rig setup I just did with them to begin with. Sometimes it doesn't work very well on the inner, which is, no, of course not. There we go. And we'll do this bad boy up in this corner. Okay, and then we will do this bad boy down here, and we'll hope that I didn't put them on backward or upside down, and I just didn't notice. There we go. Boom. Look at that. That looks pretty sick. It just makes it look a little bit cleaner. I really do, though, like, I really like the Skittle buttons, but I don't know. I think it looks cleaner. I saw a picture of it, and I was like, yep, gotta do that. That is the direction I need to go. So up here, or if you want to look from down here, they just look a little bit better. And now we'll just make sure it still powers on. We know, everything else is pretty much hooked up, so we should be good, but we'll just double check it. We'll just run the joystick tester here real quick and buttons, so we see all the buttons are working. I guess that's a little backward. Okay. Start. There we go. Everything is working easy peasy lemon squeezy. Cool. Alright, and that's what we got. So that's just a quick how-to on putting buttons here in the RG Cube. I love this handheld. I don't know if you use this handheld, but I think it is phenomenal. Really cool. But if you haven't used it, I would definitely give it a try. This is rocking the T820, so it is rocking the same CPU as the new 406V. I prefer this, I think. I do have the 405V. I had so many issues with the triggers, though I love the handheld and I think it's super comfortable. I would hit the triggers about every 10-12 seconds and screw something up. I know they say they fixed that, but I have heard that that's still not the greatest, so I am going to stick with this until I see a permanent fix for that, I think. This is the RG Cube with some new buttons. Pretty sweet, huh? I do plan on making more videos on probably the weekends, probably Saturday and or Sunday, that have more to do with modification, and then more of my other videos during the week. Just a heads up if you've watched this far into the video. That has been my plan for a long time, and so I thought, I got these buttons sitting here. I really planned on doing the 505, but wasn't able to. Can you hear my dog eating next to me? I'm not even going to yell at her because I'm at the end of the video. But that is going to be my plan going forward, and hopefully I'm able to keep with that. I have close to a dozen mod videos filmed that I have not done anything with, so my plan is to edit them and get them online for you. I also will probably include some hard drives and things like that. We'll see. I want to do something a little bit different on the weekends than I do during the week, just because it's kind of my time. You guys get me all week, and you guys and my kids and my wife, I guess, and so yeah, my wife as well. But on the weekends, it's kind of a free-for-all if I got time to do something, and sometimes I might do it ahead of time, but just to try to get some of those videos out there to make it more fun on the weekends when we're all crafting and things like that. I like to be crafting too. So that's all I got for today. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.